What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode number 19 of Week in Review. I am your host, Sean, and on this week's show, we have 2 games, 3 kinds of Oreos, and we'll look forward to what's new this week. We will start on the game side this week with State of Decay 2, a game that I've been very excited about. I've talked about it multiple times on this show. I was going to review it last week, didn't get around to it, but I put in probably like 5 hours or so over the last week, and I really like this game. That's not a huge surprise. I think this is a game that sticks to what it does, or sticks to what it knows, and sticks to what it does very, very well. It doesn't make any wholesale or overly large changes from the formula of the first game, and that's totally fine. As soon as I started playing this game, I instantly remembered why I enjoyed the first State of Decay so much. It's a game that works well for the pace I like to play. This is a good game that does a great job at giving you numbers to know how close you are to clearing out a house or building location, giving you, you have 5 of 7 rooms cleared, you have 6 of the 8 storage containers, or 5 of the 7, whatever the fraction is. Just letting you know, hey, you're making progress through this. And it's just a game that works super well for me. I think it has some problems. I don't think it's nearly as polished as it probably should be. I understand this is a small studio, small team, and a $30 price point. I just feel like there are just some weird things with it. The vision cone that you have when you're trying to open or close doors is really, really small. And I found myself I'm looking over here, and then I'm looking over here, and I'm trying to finagle the friggin' the right joystick, trying to get my character to look in the one right exact spot to close the fence so that the zombies don't get in. And that's kind of frustrating, especially when it gets a little bit more hectic. It can be a little bit annoying. The quests are a little bit repetitive. That's totally fine. I'm fine with that. I don't know. This is a game that doesn't have that much of a story. This is a game where I go out and I run around, I collect supplies, I bring them back to home base, and then go out and just kind of repeat that same process over and over again. There are a couple things that I like about the game that are a little bit different. I like that there are timed quests. You'll get a radio call over. It has 30 minutes or an hour or 3 hours or whatever the number is. And it just gives you a sense of urgency. And it maybe, not necessarily intentionally, but maybe pushes you to make maybe not the best decision in the world. This is a game that features 4-player multiplayer. The original game was only 1 person. And I think what this game does really, really well is it works super well in single player and it works super well in multiplayer. And I had just as much fun playing it either way. The difference between single player and multiplayer is pretty much just the pace. You can clear out stuff a little bit faster, clear out the zombies, clear out the big heart things, whatever the heck they're called. And, just take care of stuff a little bit quicker with a second or third or fourth person with you. I really liked just playing this game by myself, just kind of lurking around, hanging out. When I had a friend, jumped in, had a good time doing that. It's just, I don't know, it's a game that works well for me. One of the other features I actually really, really like about this game is the permadeath aspect of it. I mentioned it a little bit earlier when I was talking about how the timed stuff kind of forces you into, not forces, but may kind of nudge you into making not the smartest decision in the world. And that actually kind of bit me. I took a character out that didn't have a ton of health and was trying to get to a trader and back. And for some reason, the Xbox One controllers that I have, the Pig and the Sea of Thieves controller, which is down there somewhere, for some reason they just randomly disconnect from the console. They just desync. And they don't turn off, and I can't control the console with them. I have to reach in, pull the battery pack out, put the battery pack in, turn the controller on, and then it reconnects. It's a super weird bug that happens. I don't know what it is, and it only ever happens in the menus. Well, of course, when I'm playing the one game that has permadeath that I actually play, it bit me. As I was driving back, I hit a blob or a bloater. One of the bloater zombies. When you hit the bloater zombie, it explodes and leaves a chemical all over you, and you start to take damage. And what happens in this game, which is actually kind of a nice addition, because the first game had permadeath as well, you have a shot to get a second wind. So if you run out of health you go down on the ground. You have to mash the A button a bunch, you'll pop back up, and you have a second chance. Guess when my controller decided to randomly desync for no reason? You guessed right if you guessed when you have to mash the A button to try to keep your character alive. It popped up with a screen that said, press A to reconnect controller, as I had a horror movie moment of popping the back off of the controller battery, ripping the batteries out, trying to put it back in, but I can't get it in the right spot, trying to jam it back in there, and then they died. So I was a little bit irked because it wasn't the game's fault. It was the actual Xbox system's fault. So rest in peace, Rachel. You will be missed. Stupid bug. That stupid bug. Over the course of the 5 hours I spent with this game, I picked up 340 gamer score with 28 achievements. So I'm sure I'll jump back into it more. I do really enjoy it. I think it has some problems. It's not a perfect game. There is no such thing as a perfect game, but this game is still very, very good. I highly recommend checking it out. The second game this week is Stardew Valley, which is a game I jumped into and played about 4 hours of the multiplayer beta. And holy crap, is that game good. It's probably like my retroactive 2016 game of the year. I think in that particular year I gave it to Forza Horizon 3, which is a game that I really, really, really enjoy. But I think Stardew Valley is actually better. That game is awesome. I put like 30 hours into it or so. I don't think I played it until 2017. So now we're in 2018. They've put in multiplayer. And like I was talking about with State of Decay 2, this game is great both single player and multiplayer. Putting 30 hours into a game is no small feat, especially for me, who's a little bit of attention deficit and doesn't, stick to one thing for a bunch of time. It's hard to keep my attention for 30 hours. When I play games, normally I sit at about 8 to 12 hours, somewhere in that range, unless it's something really, really special. Obviously, there are always exceptions to the rule, but 8 to 10 to 12, somewhere in that range, tends to be where I start to lose focus and maybe want to move on and do something else. Stardew Valley doesn't do that. Stardew Valley has a perfect day-night cycle that feels like you can get enough done in the day to feel productive. Sometimes you can run out of energy super early, just go to sleep for the night, start again the next day. I played a ton of this game on the Xbox, and the multiplayer beta is currently only available on PC. And like State of Decay 2, this is a game that just works super well either way you play it. Playing it by yourself is still fun. The characters are still super interesting. It has a great art style. The fishing kind of sucks, but is manageable. It's just an all-around, super well-made game. There's lots of different stuff to do. You can fish during the day. You can build your farm out during the day. You can go to the mines and do some combat stuff. Every day feels like you can make significant progress in one of those areas. When I played on the Xbox One version of Stardew Valley, I actually ended up doing a lot of fishing, which is kind of surprising because I don't really like fishing in real life, but whatever. I would set up a bunch of crab pots around around Pelican Town, and every morning I'd water my crops, make a loop, and then decide what I wanted to advance in. Did I want to do some more fishing? Did I want to go into the mines? So on and so forth. Do I want to farm? Do I want to do a task for somebody? Even outside of the three main pillars of fishing, farming, and foraging, you can go in, you can work on the town hall and give artifacts to the library, break geodes open, all sorts of different stuff. It's a super charming game, all around, and I highly recommend people play it. I know I've talked mostly about what I did on the Xbox One version. On the PC version, I played with Ashley. Played with Ashley's mom as well, and we were having a good old time just running around and doing this, that, or the other thing. I was in charge of the fishing stuff because I was doing pretty well with it. They did the farming thing. The one thing that's weird about the multiplayer stuff, and there's only one thing that I can think of, is that the gold is shared, but the inventory isn't. So when you go in and you go to the shop or the mart and you try to buy the backpack, it takes 2,000 gold from everyone, but only gives one person the backpack, which is kind of weird. I feel like if you're going to do multiplayer, either everyone gets all the inventory slots available, so if you buy the backpack, everyone gets to use it, or the gold is split off differently. I'd imagine that the easier option of the two would be to just make sure that everyone has the same backpack or inventory number. I think you start with 12 initially. The first backpack bumps you up to 24, and then the third one bumps you up to 36. So instead of just spending 2,000 gold and then moving on to the big backpack, if you're playing by yourself, you have to spend 6,000 gold and then an additional 30,000 gold, because it's 10,000 per person for the third row of inventory. The thing is, you're probably not going to run out of inventory space, especially in the early game, so it's not that big of a deal. It was just something weird that I noticed, because the 12 inventory slots, those fill up a little bit quicker because you typically have a lot of your tools with you. Maybe I just need to be better at tool management and not take everything with me into the mines. I started to fix that towards the end of the game, or towards the end of the playtime I had. Like I said, the co-op mode is still in beta, so check that out on PC. There are instructions on the Stardew Valley website of how to get in. It's free to join. It's a lot of fun. If you like Stardew Valley, you're going to love this. If you didn't like Stardew Valley, what in the world is wrong with you? It's a great game. Play Stardew Valley, because it's really good. On this week's limited edition, in addition to a lighting change behind me, we have 3 different kinds of Oreos. And we're going to try all 3 of them. I have Ashley over here. Injured Ashley, off camera. She's hanging out.
Oh, yeah.
She fractured a bone in her right foot. So. Hi. She says hi. I'm going to have to subtitle you.
That's fine. Yeah.
Okay. So we have 3 kinds of Oreos. We're going to try those, and we'll tell you which one to vote for. Obviously, keep voting for Crunchy Raspberry. Don't say it.
Country Special Espresso.
One. Again, she can't pronounce it. Don't vote for it. So we have 3 kinds of Oreos. Obviously, I didn't open them, so that's going to be an audio nightmare. But we have Cherry Cola, and you can see it's the My Oreo creation. Vote for your favorite. Pina Colada Thins, which I don't think I've ever had a thin Oreo. And the one that I'm most curious about, kettle corn. I like kettle corn. Don't know how that translates into an Oreo, but we're about to find out. So, Ashley, which one should we start with?
Let's do the first one you advertised.
Alright, so Ashley says we're going to start with Cherry Cola. So, there they are. They look like they're going to be red and white. Just needs then red, white, and blue. So, America, USA, USA, USA. Oof. That is quite the scent. I mean, they're cola-y. There's not much of a cherry going on there. So, they look pretty good. Where's what?
Greg Miller and his Oreo ration.
Ah, that's true. Where is Greg Miller? Greg Miller, I'm calling you out on this show that has maybe 4 views. Where's Oreo ration? So here is one for you.
Thank you.
And I will try one. Now, we don't have to do any sort of like twist test or anything, so. I will, though. I'm getting it everywhere. Oh, there's crumbs everywhere.
Oh, shit.
I don't know. Like, it smells okay.
Ooh, there's that crackle. There's Pop Rocks in it.
Oh, that's right. There are popping candies in this Cherry Cola Oreo. These are fine. I don't have any affinity for them. I don't like these. I don't know. I think it's the popping candy that's really got me annoyed. I'm done with this.
There's too many sparkles in them.
There are too many sparkles in them. So, 0 for 1. I will not be voting for these. Alright, next up we're going to try Pina Colada. There's your look inside the bag. That's what thin Oreos look like. These don't have much of a scent at all. All I can taste is the golden Oreo cookie. There's no other flavor in there for me. So,
Or not much. It's like a hint of what I would taste in a pina colada.
okay.
kind of more at the end.
All right, so far, 2 down. 2, not great, honestly. Finally, kettle corn. With puffed millet. What is that? Millet? Yeah. With puffed millet pieces. I don't know what that means. Will it be as bad as the sparkles in the cherry cola? No, probably not. Will I get this open eventually? I hope so. This one had a little bit of frosting come off on the top. So there's your look inside. Those smell really good. Those smell great. I'm excited about those. Save the best for last, potentially. I'm so glad I bought all 3 of these. Thankfully, they were on sale at Safeway for $1.99 at the time. These have been sitting back here for like a month. Ugh. I don't like them. I don't have a Baja Blast to dunk these in, so we'll never know what that tastes like. Probably not great, I'd imagine. So that's those are the Oreos. I'm very underwhelmed by all 3 of these. The pina colada didn't have any taste aside from the cookie. I didn't really like the fizzy aspect of the cherry cola, which is too bad. And the kettle corn just didn't really do anything for me, so I will not be voting. I will instead continue to push Vote Crunchy Raspberry, as it is the best flavor. Ashley, final thoughts? She's crunching. She's giving me one of these.
Probably the pina colada for me, because there's not a whole lot of cookie. Not a lot of cookie, but I still kind of get that flavor.
So those are our thoughts on the 3 flavored Oreo grouping. If you try them, let me know down in the comments below which one you're voting for. I'm not going to vote. Instead, vote Crunchy Raspberry. Finally, here on the Weekend Review, we're going to look forward to what is new. We'll start in theaters with Action Point and Upgrade, 2 movies that I'm hopefully going to get to this weekend, but there's a lot going on here in town, so we'll see what I make it to this weekend. On Blu-ray, Annihilation is out, and that was all that really caught my eye. The games with gold for June were announced. We have Assassin's Creed Chronicles Russia, and I believe that makes all 3 of the Assassin's Creed Chronicles games available through Games with Gold. I don't think people really dig them all that much. I don't think they reviewed super well, but if you want Assassin's Creed, if you want something a little different in that particular franchise, maybe give these a try. Sonic All-Stars Racing Transformed hits Xbox 360. Those are both available June 1st, so Friday. Smite Gold Bundle and Lego Indiana Jones 2 are available on June 16th. I'm very excited about Lego Indiana Jones 2. I always wanted to play that game. I enjoyed the first one. I like the Lego games. I just never got around to having the opportunity to play the second one, but now I do thanks to Games with Gold. So I'll be playing that when it hits later on in this month. Later on in June. It's not quite June yet. May 30th. As far as Xbox Game Pass was concerned, 6 new games were announced, but none of them really caught my eye. Nothing stuck out to me, so that list is available all over the internet, I'm sure, and I'm sure that there's something, not sure, but there might be something you're interested in. I don't really know. Nothing caught my eye. The same can be said for the Xbox and PlayStation 4 releases. A lot of smaller games. Again, nothing of interest to me. Far Cry 3 is available for Far Cry 5 Season Pass holders. The Classic Edition of Far Cry 3 is out. It is available later in June for everybody. So, if you have the Season Pass for Far Cry 5, which I do, because I'm an idiot, and bought the stupid Steelbook Edition for a game that I don't really like all that much, I have access to Far Cry 3 Classic Edition, a game that I, surprisingly, didn't finish. 2 other betas of note this week. Both this weekend, this upcoming weekend. The Mario Tennis Aces online tournament, whatever garble words they put into a title, is available to try for everyone. I actually have it downloaded on my Switch right now. features 4 playable characters with 5 unlockable characters, mystery unlockable characters, for playing the game. And then I think you get some sort of in-game item when the game comes out later in June. I believe it's on the 22nd. So I'm looking forward to trying that out. Crew 2 is getting a closed beta. I'm not sure if signups are still open, but I have a code and I might have a couple extras. So if you want into the beta, hit me up on Twitter, and maybe I can help you out with a code. So I'm looking forward to trying that out this weekend as well. Again, super busy weekend here for me. Mario Tennis Aces, Crew 2, Upgrade, Action Point, Spokane Volume, Lilac City Comic Con. It's all happening. That's what's new. Go to Volume. Go to Lilac City Comic Con. Those are cool events. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed, hit that subscribe button and you'll always be aware of when I'm posting new crazy videos of me eating all kinds of Oreos and talking about movies and games and all sorts of fun stuff. I put jazz hands in there to make it more exciting. Did it make you more excited? Do you want to subscribe now? Jazz hands. If there is something you're hyped that I'm missing, leave a comment down below and tell me all about it. Give me hyped about your stuff that you're hyped about. Maybe I'll like it too. Be sure to check back next Tuesday and every other Tuesday. Not every other Tuesday, but all the other Tuesdays. Every Tuesday here on the YouTube channel for more episodes of Week in Review. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all the views, all the subscriptions. Totally awesome. Your support is fantastic. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week.